Hello and welcome, you crazy people. My name is Jay, and as some of you are probably aware of if you're on Facebook and stuff like that, Atomic Mass Games are doing, I think they're calling it a mini extravaganza. I may not be pronouncing that correctly, but they're basically doing like a convention style thing, but just, you know, like live streaming from their homes and their studio and that kind of thing. And they have shown some releases, some information as well. They're mainly painting miniatures, but they've also, you know, releasing some information. Now, I do want to say that pretty much everything that we had from the Lion Rampant leaks are pretty much confirmed now, because they've shown off Yoda, they've shown off the pictures of, I can't remember exactly, like the Magna Guards and stuff like that. So it's already, it's confirmed that was correct. But we do have some information from those, so let's have a look at them as well. Starting now, when I can find the right button. Yoda has been confirmed as well. So they've shown off, there's at least minimum of 3 different poses I've seen for Yoda. There may be more, I just can't remember. There is one where he's holding a stick as well, right? Now, I do believe Yoda has not been confirmed for the Rebels, and that sort of makes sense because in the original film, well, let's just say he's not in the film very long. Yeah, so the models wise, people are really liking the rock or tree stumpy thing that he's jumping off. Gives him more of an action pose. Just to confirm, everything we see here was all created by FFG. It's not that I don't want to give AMG any credit, but they even said it themselves. Basically, everything this year is all FFG stuff. And then towards the end of the year, early next year, there might be a little mix of the two. Just the hands are tied. Things just take that long to produce. So don't be like, oh well, AMG took it over in December and Yoda is now AMG's. It's just not true. It's FFG. So yeah, so let's have a look at Yoda. On first glance, I woke up this morning and I looked at him and I was like, damn, he looks good. But thinking about it, I'm not 100% sure that's true. So let's have a look at his card. So he's got guidance. You can basically give a friendly trooper an action. That's good if you want to like reposition them. It's a little bit like pull the strings, that kind of thing. You know, it would have been good if maybe in the standby sharing era, but who knows. And then you got Ataru Mastery, which, now this one is this one is bonkers, to be fair. If a really good unit gets this could be incredible. You can perform up to 2 attack actions. That's big in itself. So if you're in melee combat, you get to attack twice. Granted, is it melee attack? Not all that baller, but you know. After you perform an attack, you get a dodge action, which is good. So there's actually a reason to activate him early, you would think. Except when you defend against a range attack, after you defend, you get an aim attack. So there's a reason to sort of delay with him, because you're going to then get stronger with your attack. So some tactics there, which I do really quite like. And he also has the thing that if you defend against a range attack, sorry, I've put that, you can't even see my mouse, so it doesn't really matter. If you spend a dodge token, the attacker suffers 1 wound for each surge rolled. That is a fantastic keyword. Do not get me wrong. He's immune to pierce and he's got Master of the Force too, so he can just instantly get his well, not instantly, but at the end of his action, I think it's the end of your activation now, you get your force. You can refresh your force cards, right? Yeah, pretty strong. 5 health with the best save in the game. You know, not gonna complain for a little small dude. His melee attack, 4 red dice. It's okay, nothing to sniff about. 4 black dice at range 1 to 2, fine. The only problem I really have with him is his points. He's movement 1, so I think he will suffer the classic Darth Vader issue of just not getting into combat quickly enough. However, the closed transport may get him there, so or even the open transport. But for 200 points, he's quite high. I think for 200 points, it's a bit too many points for what you're going to be getting. I think if this was at the start of the game, it would maybe be correct. But I think right now, this is probably a little bit over-costed, which is bold, because everybody's saying he looks amazing. But I just think it's a little too situational. Not even situational. It's going to be too difficult to extract the most out of him. I mean, I could be completely wrong. You know, I've literally just seen it this morning, and my instant thoughts. I don't play test the game, or I'm not into the super competitive thing anymore. But you know, like, just that's my initial thoughts. Then we have got some cards of I don't even know what we're going to call this. Shall we just call this the Gunship? feel like the Gunship is a much easier name, or the LA-80. Now this I actually do quite like. This is confirmed dual faction, as you can actually see the cards here, and I don't think there's literally any difference between these two cards, which is good, I guess. There's no real reason for it to be, but I always felt like that this one was smaller than this one, but because that image looks like that. But either way, they both got armor, of course. Arsenal 2, so you will probably be worth buying a separate weapon, an additional weapon, and you'll be able to tailor that to whatever list you want. I suspect they'll have one that's got impact, one that's got critical, all that kind of stuff. Cover 1, that's nice. Yeah, that's good, especially with armor. It means it's going to be even more difficult to hit you. This is very hard for a northern to say. Hover, air, 2. So you can reverse strafe and standby, and you can also ignore terrain that's height 2 or lower. So there you go. Immune to blast, and it's immune to melee range 1 weapons, so you're not going to be able to grenade it. Well, I mean, all right. There you go. Immune to blast, immune to melee, and range 1 weapons. Okay, I don't know if I read that correctly the first time. That's interesting and good. And you can transport close. I'm not sure, did we get the rules for close transport? I don't know. But you're basically going to be able to transport a full unit. That's good, as long as they're troopers. The first range weapon we see there, 1 to 3, 1 red, 3 black. I gotta say, it's pretty decent, especially for 120 points. I like the possibility of this unit. It feels like it's going to be a little nimble. Its range movement 2 feels like it's going to be a little nimble, versatile unit, and I like that. I like units that let you maybe mix up a playstyle. You don't have to deploy somebody in there, but you could maybe deploy Vader, somebody like that in it, or even Yoda. You can deploy Yoda in there, and get them quite quickly to where you need to be. But if that's not relevant to the game mode you're playing, maybe you're playing the one where I can't remember, it's called Breakthrough. And maybe you're like, I'm blue play, I'm just going to try and make them come to me. Maybe you don't need to. So I like that. That's good. I think 120 points sounds fair, sounds reasonable. Yeah, sounds good. I mean, I don't really know that anymore. I've not played for you in a bit. So then we're on to the A5 speeder truck, the what's it called, Spaceballs looking thing, which I have to say the model actually looks really good. People talking about the Spaceballs conversion, which I do hope we do see. Armor, of course. Oh, I didn't talk about its health. 8 health, white dice, surge to defense though. Pretty good. A little bit lackluster on the attack, although I suspect one will have critical because the other one of the attacks has critical on the next thing. So no, I like the points of this. 75 points. However, it is weak in the backside. It is a close transport. Same 8 health. I can't remember exactly why, what the percentage is on this white dice with a surge. A bit of me wants to say it's 1 in 3. I don't actually know. I think I can't remember. But yeah, so they've got armor, hover ground, so it's the same thing as the other one, except I think in this case you're treated as a ground vehicle by other units, but it does let you reverse and standby. You get a reposition before or after you move, and it's close transport. Now on itself you might be like, wow, this is just one close transport. We'll have to wait until we see all of the weapons, I think. It doesn't have Arsenal 2. We do see one weapon, which is 16 points, which 16 points plus 75. I mean, you're bordering up, you're getting closer to 100 points there. What is that? What is that? God, I'm so bad at maths today. 85 plus 6, 91. So 91 points. You're getting up there. Is it really worth it with this weapon? Range 1 to 4. I like the range 1 to 4. Rainbow dice, critical 1. Sounds good. Yeah, so like this one, this is probably the one that I'm most like meh about. But there's probably shenanigans you can do with the rebels. I always feel like rebels are the most shenanigan based faction, but I could be completely wrong on that. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure what the dice are, but yeah, that's what you get there. And its damage, I didn't even mention, sorry, the damage after 6 wounds each. That's like, your vehicle can break and you can't move properly and stuff like that. And then there were images. Oh well, sorry. Each faction had this apart from the droid, I think, which is basically a field commander in a heavy support for 10 points. So you can basically make these field commanders, which field commanders are interesting because then you don't need a proper commander and stuff like that. I mean, they can issue orders. I'll have to wait and see how that plays out. It sounds really good. It sounds useful and will make vehicles more interesting, but who knows if that's true. And then we do see some pictures of the Wookiees. I think the Wookiees were confirmed to be dual faction. I didn't personally watch the live stream. I was sleeping, and I've not been watching it at all, to be fair. Like, I'm not that interested in mini painting. And then we got the other ones. I think is that the Magma Guard, or is that the other one? I can't remember. The one good thing to say is that I did search online Rampant, and nothing is showing for like the key term embargoed. So I'm hoping, now that they've removed the stuff, that we won't see future stuff on there. And then this will be interesting. I'm not 100% big fan of the way AMG is announcing this kind of stuff. I mean, officially, not through like Rampant. I just can't be bothered watching streaming for like that long. It's just, that's just not, my life just doesn't allow me to do that for that long. So I'm just picking stuff off Facebook as and when it turns up on there. I did sort of like AMG's classic, like, here's an article. And it's like, oh my god, an article, or we're going to do a stream with lots of reveals, and they actually have it like, you know, like a keynote. It's like boom, announcement. Obviously, I think a lot of the stuff has been taken away from AMG by leaks, but yeah, I think they will be getting a website where they will be able to post articles straight up. But for now, people are happy with what they're getting, so there you have it. So that's interesting. Yoda is. The temptation to think he's really, really good, but I'm not convinced. Let me know why I'm wrong in the comments. Have a most beautiful day. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.